It's all about how you put force down into the track or the long jump board in this video. We want to make sure that when we are sprinting and when we are jumping for distance, that we move forwards and that we convert vertical forces into horizontal forces. This video follows on from my previous one on heel recovery and orientation of the sprint stride. Let's take a look at some specific plyometric drills which I manipulated in order to get the direction going forwards as well as up. Remember, it's all about converting vertical forces into horizontal ones. When we sprint, when we jump, we're coming down into the track surface and we've got to convert that vertical force into horizontal propulsion. A drop jump requires the conversion of that vertical force into more vertical force, and I've been thinking that potentially we need to be able to adapt the landing from drop jumps to propel the athlete forwards as well as up. Now, a drop jump is also about developing greater leg stiffness, providing a base of reactivity and improving the stretch shortening cycle that will therefore transfer into enhanced jumping and sprinting. However, I got to think about, let's see if we can take the movement more forwards rather than the traditional drop jump, which is just down and up. As you can see from this graphic here, the long jump takeoff requires direction in that way and that way off of the board. So of course we're going to be able to do specific takeoff drills and drills at the pit and on the track in order to achieve that. But let's dial it back to the drop jump orientation. So here you're seeing Ben jump forwards from a platform to then go forwards and up, and the mind is very important as the central nervous system adapts specifically to the stimuli that it's been subject to. So it's not just physiology, your muscles, tendons and ligaments that adapt, your neural system does so too. So if you've been spending a lot of time doing drop jumps, chances are that neurally your body's systems will get used to reacting and orientating force in a specific way and at a specific speed, hence the need to include different inflections, as I've been saying in this video, in order to orientate force more so where we want it. Here you're seeing Ben perform some straight leg pogo jumps going over low hurdles wickets, and he's trying to go forwards and not just solely vertical. So it is difficult to control the reactions, but again, you're seeing how we tried to make this drill more forwards in its operation rather than vertical. Due to his great ankle stiffness, Ben had difficulty controlling some of the movements with the forward orientation. He's getting slung, pushed off of the ground contact very dynamically, and this meant that he lost some control on the movements. I would like to have seen a bit more foot contact with these pop partial bounds. However, as you can see, Ben is starting to move forwards without overly trying it as well. So this was part of the basis of doing this drill, to get him to think about how to make the movements more effective in that horizontal direction. With this next exercise, speed hops, the orientation and velocity is very quick forwards. Basically you're trying to run on one leg, and the objective is to pull the foot off of the ground very quickly on each contact. And again, we're trying to create a stiff contact on the landing and a fast forwards transference. So again, it's about thinking about the plyometric exercises that you do and how you can utilize them to become more effective, dependent on how you as a jumper, sprinter, orientate your force. Here we're doing a rebound drop jump. So I'm looking at reorientating that force again from down to forwards rather than down to up. And it's all about trying to get off the ground as quickly as possible as well. And again, Ben did have some timing issues with this particular drill as well. However, once he got into the flow of it, it improved. Use your hips. Hips. Get taller on the box. Yeah. It is important to think very carefully about your particular strengths and weaknesses and how you develop force and power and how you orientate that. Of course, there's a whole raft of other more specifically forward orientated plyometrics such as bounding and speed bounding, but here I wanted to go into a slightly different realm and look at the specifics of ground contacts vis-a-vis drop jumping and how we can reorientate force there and maybe build on that reorientation in a way that will transfer and improve, enhance speed bounding, for example, and the long jump takeoff in Ben's case. Do let me know what you think. Are you going to try these particular exercises? Do you think it's worthwhile doing so? And if you've got any specific questions, then do leave a comment in the section below or through my other social media. And if you're looking for a really fast training shoe that thinks it's a spike, then check out the Antiques Muscle Runners. They've got a carbon fibre plate which propels you forward, springs you out of the contact and adds to the velocity. They've also got TPU foam specifically placed in order to assist with toe off and encouraging a forefoot sprinting motion. A couple of my group members have been trialling them and they are full of praise. Indeed, Abraham and Daniel are number 2 in the country in their respective age groups, and they have attributed some of their success to the Antiques Muscle Runners. Check out the link in the video description or my video that I made which goes into detail on the Antiques. You can also get a 10% discount from the link in the video description. If you like the Jumps Squad merchandise that I often wear in these videos, then do check out the spring store.